let's talk this grading sheet real quick. This Cell of the Year grading sheet.
Yeah.
It's new. It's a brand new. So for the listeners, it's a brand new Cell of the Year grading sheet. It's live now. Like, use it from this point forward, right? I feel like it should have got a more ceremonious rollout, but if it went to all the Master Chiefs, then I guess that's as ceremonious as it could get. Then we need to make it a thing, right, at our commands. So, all right, we're gonna go through this quite a bit, right? The first block is scope of impact and leadership. The max for this block is 40 points. The first bullet is proactive leader, invested in all sellers, driving personal and professional development across the command. Right? That's the first bullet. Anything on that? We ain't got to dig through them all, but anything on that?
Sounds pretty clear to me.
Mm-hmm. Okay. The second bullet for scope of impact and leadership is builds credible combat team. And this is completely different for the listeners, right? You might catch a couple overlapping ideas, but this is completely different, right? So the second bullet says builds credible combat teams that exemplify cohesion, discipline, and readiness.
How is that gauged? How you engage that?
How would you gauge it?
Is that contributions to a training team coupled with level of proficiency annotated on it during workups, something like that, or evaluation period? No,
yeah, I mean, watch teams, your division, like how y'all operate. Like, I would take it there. I mean, that's a good question, honestly. But I think, yeah, it's a good question. I think it's a broad scope, but it's worth asking. I love that you just asked that. Not everybody has a black and white combat team. I think that's what you're saying, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, okay, CS2 is on there. Yeah, CS2 might be part of VBSS or everything else, but their core job is, ordering supply and feeding the crew.
Yeah, this Cell of the Year, though. So this PO1s.
Oh, so CS1. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that.
But I would assume that his watch team now, like his team of CSs, right? I'm assuming that we would compare that to a combat team. That's kind of my guess.
Can you read it one more time, Demo?
Is we would take his ship. It says builds credible combat teams that exemplify cohesion, discipline, and readiness. Mm. So that CS watch team, that morning shift or whatever, take out combat team and put morning shift in there and exemplify cohesion, discipline, and readiness. That's, of course, it's an assumption, and that's why I said I'm glad you asked that question. But that's where I would assume you would kind of do that at. Like Damon, DC men, right? Like they got duty sections, right? So that could be considered a combat team or your division, But hey, that's a great question. Hopefully somebody hears it and some more definition. It says visible, accessible, and sets the tone through. Did I say that wrong?
No, I'm thinking about our previous convo about FaceTime.
Oh, visible, accessible, and sets the tone through authentic deck plate leadership that inspires confidence and trust.
Going back to that FaceTime convo, right? Like, if you're doing your job, doing things, wouldn't that naturally present you as deck plate leader because you're on the deck plates doing said job and training people versus just doing stuff for the checking the box and the kudos?
I got a random question. Do y'all think it should be a clear line of separation between the expectation of a chief and the expectation of a first class petty officer?
Can you ask the question again?
Do you think it should be a clear line of separation between the expectations of a chief and the expectations of a first class petty officer?
Do we have those already?
I'm asking if y'all think it should be a clear line of separation.
Like spelled out in black and white again or re-emphasized? Like that.
Well, I'm just asking for y'all's opinion.
Yeah. I mean,
And just one word answers. Like you ain't even got to explain because I want to get back to this. I just want to know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm not saying it's not. I'm just asking. It says reinforces a culture of recognition, collaboration, and mission-focused excellence. Drives operational readiness and cultivates team success through performance and accountability. The reason why I did ask this because all of these bullets, they make sense for a really good first class. They do. They also make sense for a good chief. You know what I mean? So I'd be interested in see that. This is good for a really good first class, right? But then it's also this concept like that people say, I don't really like the concept, but it's like, I'm work you out your job, right? So first class should be working the chief out the job, all right? I explained it on a previous spot, so I ain't about to explain it right now, but it still should be, even with all that said, it should be a clear understanding that we do different things. You know, we got different mission sets. And I know we could talk about it some other time because we're going to get in this, but I understand what the difference in our mission sets are. And I would talk to any first class about the difference in what we do. It's different. Even if you think you're working me out my job, like it's different. Y'all got anything on scope of impact and leadership? It's pretty laid out, right?
Yeah. Was that the last one?
First, let me go back. So the proactive leader joint, 15 points, right? Builds credible, and that's across the command, right? So that's 15 points. Credible combat teams, that's 10 points. Visible, accessible, sets the tone, 7 points. Reinforces culture of recognition, collaboration, mission focus, and excellence. That's 5 points. And then drives operational readiness and cultivates team success through performance and accountability. That's 3 points. And that's what gets you your 40 points for scope and impact of leadership, right?
That's different right there, right? Everything out by point. That's pretty.
Yes. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like all that shit is spelled out a lot better, right?
Okay.
It's a little less. It's more conceptual too. And like this one is a little more conceptual than tangible versus the other grading sheet, which I got no issues with. You can make anything tangible. Outcome focused leadership. This is the one we had a question about because it popped up and we didn't talk about it because we didn't have information. I reached out to McPond's office, got a response. This is the answer to the question. Outcome focused leadership. That's worth 40 points as well, right? So total points for this whole thing is 150. So outcome focused leadership abides by an uncompromising code of integrity and takes full responsibility for actions and decisions. I love that for a first class. That's worth 15 points. Hold self-impairs accountable, enforcing standards with fairness, humility, and consistency. That's worth 10 points. Exercises sound judgment and initiative to ensure mission success to complex, high-stress environments. That's worth 7 points. Actively self-assesses and applies continuous improvement to enhance team and, oh shit, we spelled personal wrong, Navy. We have to fix this. Personal performance. That's worth 5 points. Right? Hey, we spelled personal wrong, y'all. Yeah, let's go fix that. And then it says, understands and articulates how unit objectives align with Navy mission, vision, and strategic priority. So that's outcome-focused leadership. Does that make sense? I don't think you got a copy, but did you hear all that, Aaron?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying it's word salad. It's just, I don't have nothing to push back. Everything's well written.
Aaron don't like not having no pushback. Look, Aaron try to have a pushback right now. He's short circuited.
You know what? Actually, yeah, guilty as charged.
He's short circuited, man.
Just wigging out like, sounds a good idea.
David, you there?
Man. I'm still trying to pull this shit up, bro. I ain't pull it up either.
No, I mean, did you hear what I said?
Yeah, I heard you.
What'd you think?
Yeah, I mean,
all that shit. That's what we gotta go slow, man. We gotta go slow. Man. So outcome focused leadership, right, is pretty much, right? So the first one is abides by uncompromising code of integrity and takes full responsibility for actions and decisions, right? That makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Hold self-impairs accountable, enforcing standards with fairness, humility, and consistency. Makes sense. My thing with some of these is like, let's keep going. Exercises sound judgment and initiative to ensure mission success in complex, high-stress environments. Actively self-assesses and applies continuous improvement to enhance team and personal performance. Understands and articulates how unit objective aligns with Navy mission, vision, and strategic priorities. I will say this now, a lot of this shit is like, it ain't necessarily on paper no more.
Mm-hmm.
Like for instance, what I'm saying is, abides by an uncompromising code of integrity and takes full responsibility for actions and decisions. And holds self and peers accountable, enforcing standards with fairness, humility, and consistency. Some of these things can be proven, like, by like if somebody took people to woke people up or whatever like that. But a lot of these things are going to be based off of like a leadership assessment. Am I tripping?
Yeah, it's almost sound like I don't know, I can be getting this wrong. Abides by an uncompromising code of integrity and takes full responsibility for action and decisions, right? Like we're talking about a division with no captain mass. That's how we're gonna look at this. Somebody who's like doing everything the right way. You know what I mean? Ain't got no hiccups in their division. So okay, they gonna get 15 points because they got all this, they doing all this stuff right. You know what I mean?
Because I guess the question would be like, how to write to this? People write to the grading sheet, right?
Yeah.
So I'm asking you too, Aaron, like, how do you write to some of these? Right? So for instance, like one of the bullets says, understands and articulates how unit objectives align with Navy mission, vision, and strategic priorities. How do you explain that? I know a way or two, but how do you explain that in a package?
So I hate defaulting to collateral. And I'm thinking about someone who is running part of a command NDOC or something, or they led a command-wide training on something and they discussed the importance of something.
Like visible, accessible, and sets the tone through authentic deckplate leadership that inspires confidence and trust. How do you write that in a package?
Yeah. This time I'm gonna have to sit down with, bro.
Institutional and technical expertise, right? Demonstrates technical mastery within rating and community. Applies superior expertise to achieve mission success and warfighting readiness. That could be easily written to a package.
Yeah, that's cut and dry. Yeah.
Applies institutional knowledge to develop highly trained teams that deliver mission excellence.
Yep.
You can write that.
What's institutional knowledge?
You know what institutional knowledge is.
What for the people listening who don't know what that is?
So can you please explain it to them, Aaron?
I cannot, could you?
Yeah, it's knowledge of us, like it's Navy knowledge. It's knowledge of our institution. Right? And so knowledge of our institution. You also got technical knowledge, which is knowledge of your rate. Right? They the two different knowledges that we talk about, right? Exhibits adaptability and technical proficiency across diverse assignments and mission sets. Yeah, you could explain that in a package easy. If somebody did it, oppose the profession of arms through disciplined leadership, professionalism, and preservation of naval heritage. How do you write that?
Yeah, that's a good one. I don't know how. Hold up. Uphold the profession of arms through disciplined leadership. Yeah, that's one I have to think about, bro.
Yeah, I mean, it's way.
It's got to be ways.
It's interesting.
But I also... Oh, go ahead, Demo.
No, I was just going to say this is interesting.
I think also, man, it's someone you might not get points off of, bro.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, it might be just where you was stationed at and what you was doing. You may not get points for some of this.
Yeah.
Yeah, future of assignments,
yeah.
So then the rest of this is, the last one for institutional and technical is conduct and alignment with Navy core values, consistently modeling honor, courage, commitment, right? That's that. The rest of this is pretty tangible, right? Special quals, right? Attainment of special quals, both above rank and in and out of rating, beyond the minimum requirements, which have an impact on mission effectiveness. That's easy to articulate. History of assignments, special programs, arduous selective assignments, normal C short flow, easy to articulate. Education and professional development, easy to articulate, right? Actively engaged in leadership courses, PME, JPME, NEC, certs, relevant to current and future roles, advanced civilian education courses. That's all of those ones, and they all worth like 10 points apiece. They're easy to articulate. The ones that's worth 40 point scope of impact and leadership, outcome focused leadership, institutional and technical expertise. What I'm interested in seeing is how people prep these packages this year.
Yeah.
And I don't really see much about the board.
Does the instructions say the exact amount of points for every item in the subcategory?
All the items are all of them are listed. Like all of the points are bulleted out.
So you know how some people say you cap out the education? Like, oh, you got a degree.
Yeah.
But then you also had your PMEs done. Well, you don't get credit, you capped off already.
So PMEs are worth like 8 points. So one of the things that always get me with that is, what if the person got the PME, the NEC, and a cert? Like, is it still just 8? Or what if they got one of these? Is it 8 or is it less than 8? Like, that's the one that always get me when it comes to these packages, right? Do you need every single thing? Right, Aaron? Like, so for instance, with special programs, right, it's worth 7 points, right? Well, history of assignments, right? Special programs, arduous, selective assignments worth 7 points. Or is it like all 3 of them worth 7 points? Or is one of them worth 7 points?
That's what I'm asking.
Is
it a cumulative joint, or is it like 7 per?
Yeah.
Or is it one that caps off at the number they say?
Yeah. That's the same thing for me too, though, man. Like that used to be one of my biggest things too, man. Like, only thing I used to make sure I just did it all the same way. You know, whenever I'm doing it, I just all the same. But I used to have a problem with the same thing with the education piece, man. Like, if I got a master's degree and they got a freaking, associate's degree, we both get the same amount of points. Like, I'm like, shit.
Yeah.
I used to want it to be different. Now I don't. Because everybody's like, if you know what how many CDBs you go to where a person says, I'm not a degree cat, a school cat, I'm more certifications. The certifications take a minute to get.
Yeah.
Like, would you hold that? If you grade in the package, person A had 3 certs knocked out, HR, comp TA, something like that. Other person got associates and a bachelor's. Are you weighing the same, Damien, or are you looking at them differently?
Man, you saying certs are harder than getting a bachelor's?
No. But I'm saying some certs, it's not a cakewalk. You're putting in hours and every hours of study and figuring it out.
Yeah. And you know what? Me personally, I'm grading it how I'm grading it because it seems like it's all the same anyway. If you got one of them, you got points. But personally, I would like to see it graded differently, I think. Right? Because, I don't know. I know people got master's degree, bro, and they still getting the same amount of points everybody else else
because it's just a max of points, right? It's the same amount of points. So what y'all think? I think, and I don't know if y'all both got this in front of y'all. I think Damon does now. I think some of this stuff is like, it's more up to interpretation than the last grading sheet. I think the last grading sheet was, you kind of write things down, bullets. You could put meat. You could put like, the meat and potatoes or whatever. This one seemed a little bit more up to interpretation. That could be me though.
Yeah, hey, you gonna have to really get some homework in on this, man. Like, no shit, you gonna have to read up on some of these questions they got in here. And the other part of it, I don't know if you mentioned it earlier. I see nothing about board nowhere.
Yeah, I mentioned that.
Boardsmanship?
Yeah, it don't say anything about the board. It just said board members' comments. That's it. I don't see anything else about it.
You think it's implied?
I mean, hopefully, it should be.
Maybe, yeah.
Should be. I know some people ain't been doing boards. I remember that was a big thing when we were on a Peralta when we stopped doing boards, and I was pissed. Like some of these just... A lot of these you keep looking at it. Yeah, you can prove it, but it takes time to figure out how. Like, for instance, like one of these I looked at earlier, and I'm like, okay, so that's by how many. That's the same thing as like how many sellers in your in your command or whatever, or that you led got awards, got seller of the quarter or whatever. So some of that was that with the scope of the scope of impact and leadership, right? Visible, accessible, sets the tone through deck plate leadership and inspires confidence and trust. reinforces a culture of recognition, collaboration, and mission-focused excellence, right? So that there was like 6 of his sellers got sell at a quarter or, something like that. So it's ways to spin it, but it's also interesting. It's still interesting to me. I'm interested in what people kind of do with that.
Yeah.
Did we cover that good? Did we get to, that's a funny question.
Yeah, maybe do the best you can, man. Conversation.
Yeah. Bro, good gracious.
It's a new grading sheet, y'all. It's a
brand new
grading sheet.
Brand
It's a new grading sheet.
Yeah.
Learn it, familiarize yourself with it, understand it. We went over it all.
Yeah.
I want to call that a deep dive. You know what I mean?